power play has been one of your few deficiencies this season. Is it that much more frustrating that that's what cost you tonight?
Well, I don't know if it's more frustrating. It's disappointing because that was an opportunity for us to, hopefully do something against them. Just a little bit of awareness. Gord came off the bench real quick. They made a play. We sort of weren't paying enough attention and ended up in the back of the net. And that's I thought tonight, first period, I thought we did a really good job of managing it. I thought where the crowd was pretty quiet, and then obviously they got the shorthanded goal, and that energized, I think, their team and the building. And I give our guys credit. I thought we sort of stabilized after a few shifts after that, and then in the third period we left it all out there. So that's it's a lot of pain for this group. This group has got so much character. It's undeniable to me. And I just they're feeling the pain right now.
Arthur Staple, The Athletic.
All right, we saw a few guys looking very choked up coming through here. Is it just it's hard to evaluate all you guys have been through since you're at this point last year, but you used to talk about character. How proud of you, this group, to get to this point once again and kind of prove a lot of people wrong once again.
I said to them, this group is special. Their character, their work ethic, their will, their commitment. To me, it's undeniable. It's so strong, and that's probably why this group believed that we could do this. They still believe we could, but it's just a lot of pain because they gave their all. There's some guys that are playing that are beat up, worn out, hurt, and they just keep going. And there's a really bond between all the players that is really strong. And the disappointing thing is we didn't get this game, and that group in that room won't be together again. That's just the lay of the land in the National Hockey League. So that's all the pain, and there's a lot of guys that as I said, they're not going to be defined by this game, win or lose. They're going to be defined by all the games. I mean, we were a team that I think we were the underdog in the first series, trailed, came back. We were an underdog in the second series, same thing. Underdog in the third series, and we almost got it done. So a lot of character. We stayed to our identity. We're on the right path. We're on the right path, and as I said last year, and I didn't say it to the guys this year, but I think they understand. You got to keep going back. It's no different than Tampa Bay. They had some heartache before they were able to win a cup, and now they have a chance to win too.
Gross, Newsday.
Hey, Barry, I know coaches develop feelings for all their groups. So I'm not asking you to rank it. I mean, you won a cup with the Capitals, but the way you talk about this specific group just feels a little bit different than maybe, you might feel otherwise.
Yeah, well, when you win a cup with a group, that is special. That is a bond that never goes away. But I'm just, this group from day one, and I didn't know them. Any of the players, and we put something together here that with the character and the constant work ethic that they bring and commitment that they bring, and really tight group that starts with Anders Lee and our leadership group of get Josh Bailey and guys like Eberle and Clutterbuck and all that, and they just they're not scared of the challenge. They don't cut corners, and that's to me, that's an exceptional group that really values each other. You have some teams that some guys don't value the other guys, and that's maybe why you don't go as far as you want to. And I think this group values everybody's importance in their piece of the pie within the team.
Tom Galletti, NHL.com.
Barry, what did they do so well that really kind of limited the chances you're able to generate tonight? Even when you did get some
they blocked 21 shots. They did a really good job. I mean, I think we attempted 50 shots, I think, tonight, somewhere in that range, and they had 21 blocks, and we had some guys teeing them up, and they were blocking them. They were committed. All that. They're a good defensive team. They've got a good core. They got an outstanding goaltender. They got a defenseman who is Norris Trophy candidate every year. Underrated guy in McDonough, who is a shutdown guy, and they got Sergachev, and they're a better team than they were last year. In my mind, they got a Kucherov and Stamkos. They weren't there last year together. They got Point. They've won. They've added a guy like Savard to their group. I mean, I think they're a better team now than they were last year, and we took them to the brink. Because I think we're a better team as well. And we've learned some lessons on the way here. So this group has played, I was saying, like 97 games or something like that, some crazy total like that, and half of them pretty well have been playoff games in the last 10 and a half months. So, and those playoff games take a piece out of you. And these two teams I think have played the most games in the playoffs in the last 3 years, I think. So those take a piece out of you. And this group has been committed to do all that. And I just, as I said to them, I wish I could take their pain away. I've had the opportunity to have won a cup and know how that feels and all that. And I just really wanted this group to feel that as well.
Last question, Larry Brooks, New York Post.
Barry, you just referenced it, but there's 2 consecutive years, very, very little difference between the teams in either year. But is there something you can identify that does separate them from you at this point?
Probably. That's a tough one, Larry. It really is. We're built a little differently. They've got obviously, some elite goal scorers, and we're missing Anders Lee in this. I think he would have been a huge factor in this series around the net and all that. So we're built a little differently, but obviously we've taken them to the brink both times, and they've got all the pieces, Larry. Quite frankly, they got an all-star goalie. As I said, their defense is led by Hedman, and they're deep with guys like McDonough and Savard and Sergachev and Ruutu and even Shen, who does a really good job. And then their forward lines, the Gord line is sort of that Cizikas type line. It's got that. They've got elite goal scorers with Kucherov and Stamkos. And for the life of me, I don't understand why people don't talk about Braden Point as an elite center. I've known that for a few years. I think the coaches in the league know that. He's an elite center. And, you come back with Cirelli, and he's a really solid guy. And they just, they got Johnson, who's a really good player on their third line. I mean, that's, they got Maroon. They've got all the pieces. And they're set up well, and they're a fantastic team, and Coop does a great job coaching them, and that's why they're Stanley Cup champions. And you need a break here or there to get by this team that's very deep. And but we're chipping away at it, and we're getting closer. And hopefully we can break through here.
Coach.